Hi, my name's Louie from DW Drums. I'm the custom painter here. This is my little home away from home. I play all day.
Ja, hi, mein Name ist Jan Hoffmann von nStuff. Wir sind heute bei DW Drums in Oxnard bei Los Angeles und wollen mal einen kleinen Blick hinter die Kulissen werfen, wie diese Schlagzeuge so entstehen. Und netterweise hat sich Louis, der hier die Custom Finishes macht, ein paar Minuten Zeit für uns genommen und wird uns mal ein bisschen was erzählen, wie er zu diesem Job gekommen ist und wie so sein Arbeitsalltag aussieht. Hi Louis, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Fine, thanks. So, as I told our readers, we want to give a little insight. What's your job here at DW Drums? Can you tell us how you started with all the painting stuff and how you came to DW?
Sure. Well, as my career started, I used to do regular automobile painting, lowriders, things like that. Strictly automobile, and my wife, she works here also. Her name's Gigi. She didn't want me to paint anymore. So I came, when looking for a job actually, and when they were telling me about this job through a friend of mine, it was to be a color sander. And I said, okay, as long as I don't have to paint, I won't paint. And so obviously one thing led to another, and I ended up painting, and I told Don Lombardi, Mr. Lombardi, that I would paint until he gets another painter, and that was almost 23 years ago, and still waiting for another painter, I guess. But I ended up painting, and it switched over from cars to drums, but I brought over just the transition from cars to painting drums. To me, it's kind of the same thing, just a lot smaller and individual pieces instead of just one huge car. But yeah, that's how I got started.
Okay, so is it different to paint drums from are there different materials to use?
It's a little bit different just because of the bases. We paint what is called a natural living wood. Wood is still alive. It doesn't matter. It never dies. It's always alive. It reacts to weather, cold and heat, and it's like when it rains outside, your windows don't want to go up, and then or they swell up and your door gets stuck. It's wood, and it's natural, and it's living. It's a living product. And so you have to wait for it to dry and for the swelling to go down. And it's the same thing with drums. No matter what, it's a living, breathing product. And it reacts to different stages, different weathers. And same with me when I paint, I got to really look at my percentages and look at how the wood, how wet it is, what the moisture content is in order to continue on. So it's something that we really have to be careful with. It's just not painting drums. There's a little science behind it to be able to get the best work that we have and do for our drums to be able to withstand the cold and the heat, because here we're in California, it's not that cold in some areas and it gets hot. Some areas are super hot and some areas are super cold. So all that matters into our finishes as well.
Yeah, and what are the usual painting jobs that you do? Are you do the most paintings for artists or just?
No, I do it for both. I do it for the customers and I do it for our artists as well. Our artists, and I'm very grateful for them, but I'm just as grateful for our customers, because our customers are the ones that provide us with our job and provide us the opportunity to be able to do a great product and make a great product for the consumer. And they're the ones that keep us busy and keep us blessed to be able to provide for our families, and it's because of our customers. And that's what's most important to me, is our customers when we do our jobs. Make sure that they're getting the best of the best.
Yeah, but is it like you're painting? I guess you're not painting all the drums that are made here.
I do the majority. I do have my fellow painters that I have trained as well for base coats, blacks and whites. More of the not so uh, hard, should I say, paint jobs, but mostly all the other paint jobs, all the graphics, fades, pearls, flakes, things like that. We have a personal hand in that and make sure that gets done.
Okay, and how long does it usually takes to paint a drum set? Or
Oh, it depends. It goes on in stages as well. Even though I'm a production painter, it it still takes time because even though I can paint as fast as I want, but paint dries when it wants to dry. It just doesn't dry, within 10 minutes or overnight. So things have to go in stages. So I'll work on one kit, lay out one set of graphics, and then work on another kit while this one's drying, and I'll jump on another one. And so it goes in stages. I can be working on 3, 4, 5 drum sets a week, and it all falls into place in stages. Sometimes I'm able to finish all 5 within 1 week, or maybe 2 because it's in stages.
yeah, and then for example, here we see a set that you have made. Is it all? Is it sprayed, or how do you do like this?
Yes, this is a black base, and they wanted the triangle design on it, and what I did a silver flake triangle, and it's got a gold and it's got a red. So each one of those I always have to back mask as well, because I can't get yellow on the silver, the red on the yellow, and the yellow on the red, or vice versa. So everything has to get back masked, and you paint one color and then you mask it off, paint another color and mask it off. So can't do that all in one day because paint has to dry, and just back masking is what it takes time. It's not that it's hard, it's just it takes time to dry. So that's what takes most of our time from one day to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yeah, and are you experimenting much with new finishes or new ways to?
No, I've brought in different finishes for our company. I've made my own clear. It took up almost a little over 4 years to come up with my own clear coat for our drums, and so it's not out in the market. It's just something that the DW uses for in-house, but it's something that I've helped make and create that clear for our company. Hopefully one day it'll be out in the market, but yeah, that's our clear coat. Our clear coat is the best that we can provide right now.
Yeah, and is it possible to get a DW drum set refinished? So when it's old and red,
There's different companies out there. I know that I've been asked that question quite often, and DW doesn't do it because we're just so busy trying to provide for our customers as right now. But there's companies that'll do it, or we do it for drum doctors. If they have a kit or they want something done or something refinished, I'll do their kits. And it's not very much. It's just a few here and there that have to get redone, or they ask to get repainted. Yeah. But we don't personally do it, repaints and stuff like that.
yeah, and have you in the guitar market it is very common to do like relic instruments. Have you ever thought about make a new drum set look old, or have you ever done that?
I've done a couple drum sets where it's all completely rusted. I mean, completely rusted out. I do the hardware on it. I do everything on it, and it's a more of a patina kind of finish. But we can make it whatever it is the customer wants. That's what we'll do. And if we can do it, we'll do it. And if it's something that is not to the customer, sometimes they say they want one thing and we do it, and then all of a sudden, well, it's not really what I wanted, and I didn't really think that's what I wanted, or that's what I'd like to have. And a lot of customers have ideas in their heads, but when you put it down on drums, it's not what they really wanted. And I'll go buy a picture, and I'll do that. It's the same thing with Mr. Neil Peart. When we did the Time Machine, he was really excited about a certain finish, and he had it all computer graphic. He gave it to me, and so we did it. And at the end, I don't really like it. And so it's different looking at it on paper and then looking at your drum set. It's way, way different. And so we changed and we changed and we changed some things, and we ended up finally with my input, a little bit of my input, a little bit of his input, we ended up with the Time Machine drum set. And it's just different. It's different. We don't personally ourselves go and do our own personal finishes besides our regular paints, fades, candies, flakes, stuff like that. But if it's the customer who's our boss. Yeah. They come first. And whatever it is that they want, they give me a paperwork and they give me their artwork, and I want this, and I want a little bit of this. And so we can't do it ourselves. We always need to take consideration of our customers first. Whatever they want is what we're going to give them. And so it goes with artwork as well. Customers ask me, can you just paint whatever you think is, I just want something crazy, or I can't do it because my craziness is somebody else is going to say, oh, I don't really like that. So I can't ever will I ever just do what I want. It's the customers, what they want is what they'll get.
Yeah, but do you sometimes say to a customer, I understand your idea, but it won't look good on a drum set?
Absolutely, absolutely. And sometimes that's why we do a sample first. Yeah. And then once we do a sample, the customer will say, well, I don't really like it. And I say, well, I'll go with your idea, and I like your idea, but I would do this. I'd like to change A to B and B to C. And so we put in our own little bit, we do another sample, and then it's either they like it or they hate it. And usually that's what we go with. And so that's our little input. I do whatever the customer first, and then if they ask me, what do you think would be better? Because I don't really like that, and I would do this. Can we look at it? Okay. And so sometimes it works.
Okay, and if you put so much time and energy in a drum set, is it sometimes a sad feeling for you to see it go?
Absolutely. That's why I take a lot of pictures of it. But usually, if it's something pretty wild, I'll always get to see it somewhere else. Somebody will post. Although I have a lot of friends on Facebook that they get their drums and they post on my wall as well. And so it's part of the family. It's you do get sad, but it's something that you just get used to being so long doing it that every one of them, I could put a face on a drum set more than I can put a name on a face. I have more people tell me, I get to meet people, and it's a great blessing for me to meet people. But I don't really know them until they tell me what I did for them. And then when they tell me, oh, okay, you're the, or what store it was. Same with our dealers. Oh, you're the one that ordered the Regal to Royal fade, or the purple to black, or I could put more a paint job on a person than their name on their face. So, yeah, I know more by their paint than anything.
Okay, yeah, sounds great. So yeah, thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely,
and for
thank
a little
you.
Insight